very beautiful afternoon to you today in the city of Ibadan. I hope you are having an eventful day wherever you're listening to this great radio dial. Coming right here from Honor 103.5 FM, Kongi Bodija. The program you're listening to now is Transport and Tourism Express with your captain on the MIC, Victor Oyejide. And on this program, we get to look at the issues of public importance in the transport and tourism sector. But today on our program, our focus is in the tourism sector. We woke up all with the news today about the demise of a paramount ruler of Ibadan land, talking about Oba Owolabi Olakuleyin, who joined these ancestors today. And according to news, and what we also know, that the monarch who ascended the throne in July 2024 died in the early hours of today, Monday, after spending close to a year on the throne. And the demise of Oba Olakuleyin, who was born on the 5th of July, apparently celebrated birthdays just 2 days ago. It's coming 2 days after celebrating his 90th birthday. And as we know also, that Oba Olakuleyin received the staff of office from Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, on the 12th of July 2024 as the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land. We pray that as he has joined the ancestors, the fathers, we pray that spirit and life continue to rest in peace. And commiserate with all sons and daughters of Ibadan land, especially with the family, and hope that good tidings will continue. Bàbá tí lọ bí àgbáre, adẹ̀tìmọ̀ wípé ẹ̀yìn wọn dáadáa náà ni ní gbogbo ìgbà. I know quite a lot of plans will be going on in days to come, especially towards the coronation of who becomes the new Kabiyesi, which we know there's no controversy as to how we do it or how it's done in Ibadan land, the rotational system. But again, let me welcome you back to the program Tourism Express. And on this program today, we'll be really looking at issues of public importance in the tourism and hospitality sector. I have a very distinguished guest in the studio, and a very big man at that, the president of Hoteliers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter, will be speaking with us shortly. But before we go deep into conversation, let me take you through some of the few other activities that has happened on the sector within the last 1 week, just in case you didn't catch up with some of these information or updates. And for you to know that within the transport and tourism sector, quite a number of things had also happened. I'll need to go on the short musical break, and when I'm back, you get to speak with, you get to listen to some of those major trending news in the sector. Welcoming you back from that short musical break. Quickly taking you through some of the major headlines within the transport sector. NLC will restore offer train service before end of the year. This is the NLC boss talking about Dr. Kayode Okpefa speaking about restoration of the Kwara, the offer train service, the train that runs through the Kwara corridor. Hopefully that things will get restored, majorly the narrow gauge runs through that route, but just the same way we have it passed through Dugbe in Ibadan. Hopefully that things will get better on that space, and we have things also picking up as much as possible from our own end in Ibadan. Oyetola inaugurates governing board of NIMASA, NIWA, and charges members to uphold national interest. This is talking about the former governor of Osun State, who is now the Minister of Blue Economy, who recently inaugurated the governing board of the Nigerian Maritime and Safety Agency and the Nigerian Inland Waterways, and charging members of this board to uphold national interest. Papa Customs sees 3 terminals, rakes in 1.37 trillion revenue in 6 months. The Papa Customs has sealed 3 terminals which are operational in Lagos and are raking in about 1.37 trillion revenues in 6 months. Quite a lot in that story that I might not be able to read, but you can get to catch up on that news during the course of at your free time. Also, we have information that a few days to go to the African Hospitality and Tourism Educational Summit in Nigeria, just about maybe about 17 days more now. This event coming up on the 25th, about 18 days coming up on the 25th and 26th of July. And this is an event every tourism lover and hospitality professional should really look forward to. Again, let me go back to the maritime sector, where we have a breakthrough in that sector with the Nigerian Port Authority betting the MV Ocean Dragon, one of the first only Nigerian-owned container vessel, betting at the one of the ports in Nigeria. And a very big breakthrough there. I think we can really get to read more of the stories and updates within the sector. Within our free space in this sector. The Lagos State has suspended BRT lane enforcement on Eko Bridge and Odoiyalaru axis. This information particularly for those in Lagos State. I also believe that by now it's no longer news to you that the FRSC has increased price for the renewal of driver's license and plate numbers. If you have not gotten yours, then you need to act on that. You need to go and renew your license if it has expired by now for 5 years and for 3 years. Please take necessary steps. They are official rates, but you can easily get to do this either online or visit any of the FRSC offices around you. With that, I'll be drawing curtains on some of the major trending news within the sector while I get to speak with my guests who is in the studio. Keep it locked down. This is still Honor 103.5 FM.
I'm an African child. Mother called me down into her heart. She said, lay upon my bosom and say a few prayers. Then she told me to go forward, never looking back. The spirits are with you, and you guys, you will never fail. So I go into the world, into the deeps, into the wild. In the marketplace I dance, the sound of our dancing. 7 jumps, 7 wriggles, 7 carrots, 7 nuts, 7 Africa. Over and over and over and over and over, over mountains and in the wild. You want dance?
Welcoming you back from that short musical break, 7 Lives by beautiful Nubia. In the studio today, I have a very distinguished personality who has done well for himself and from the tourism sector, particularly the hospitality sector in Oyo State and Nigeria at large. Today, I'll be speaking with a very gentleman, that I'll put it that way, a gentleman who is the Otumba of Inyekiti and the president of Hoteliers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Otumba Ayodele is the president of Hoteliers. Otumba Ayodele Ogundele, the president of Hoteliers in Oyo State. How's it been for you?
We thank God. It's been a good ride. We've tried to develop the industry past where we met it in Oyo State. And we thank God up till now, we've been getting good response. We've been getting good cooperation from government. And our membership has been gradually increasing. But being an association, which there's a freedom of association, it's whoever sees fit out of the industry, practitioners and owners of hotels, comes to join our fold. But I'm glad to see and to say that so many new hotels are coming up, and so many of them are realizing the importance of being part of an association like this.
Great. You know, today on the program, we'll really be looking at how to enhance tourist experience, some of the best practices that are expected for hotel owners in Oyo State. This is very key for tourism development. You agree with me? You mentioned something earlier on, for people that have identified with the association. So I know we have hotels, we also have motels. Some people can also say we have brotels. Do all these people that owns this, do these bodies actually, the hotels, the motels, are they under your association?
Okay, so whatever you call them, okay, there are places that offer one service or the other. And the association is there as an umbrella body to not really regulate, but to assist. Number one, the association is a bridge between the industry and government.
Okay.
The association is the one that organizes training programs, and the association is able to identify where we have problems within the industry and how we can go about solving those problems. And when we actually get some people that want to take advantage also, the association is always there to stand up for members of the industry. Yes.
Members of the industry who have a challenge at one point or the other.
That's right.
But there's freedom of association for every member.
Yes, there is. Yes.
You know, one key thing is that when people want to join, or when we have tourists come around, they should be able to have maximum experience in the state that in the hotel that they visit. And I don't know, is there a way you get to regulate activities of members and check their activities? You said you are not an enforcement body, but I don't know, are there trainings you do for your members? What exactly do they get to benefit?
Okay, so you see, in our industry is actually one of the most misread and undermined industries you can find, because you see, anybody that has the wherewithal, okay, can set up a hotel or a motel or a guest house or apartments or suites tomorrow. You don't need any special training, you don't need any licenses. But the truth of the matter is that you actually need some form of training, okay? Especially your staff needs some form of training. But that has gone to the dogs because there's no longer facilities to train. Okay, 3, 4, what am I saying? 10 years ago, you could go to a Duff Catering Institute, you could go to a Davog Catering Institute,
to learn.
So many places to learn. But right now, all those vocational skills have died away. And basically, it is left up to industry practitioners to pick people off the streets and try and train them. And that is why you now have so much poaching. People that set up new hotels will go and look for people that have been working in other hotels. And invariably, they will employ people that already have a mindset, maybe a criminal mindset. And 6 months down the line, they're complaining that, oh, the bar is not making any profit, the barman stole half the money, blah, blah, blah. You know, so we have a problem. And the biggest problem we have in this industry is actually manpower.
Manpower.
Yes, it's manpower. experienced, knowledgeable manpower.
I think that word is key. Experienced
Yes,
manpower, not just anybody.
Experienced and trained manpower. Do you understand? 90% of people you see they're working in a hotel, they don't see it as an industry. They don't see it as a profession. Half of that 90 are only there to fill a vacuum.
You make money, make ends meet, and move on with your
Yes,
life.
you hear people saying, "Oh, I am managing at so hotel," and I tell them, "You're not managing. You're working. Put in your best, and see what God will do."
Giving the people experience.
Yes, they say, "Oh, I'm managing," and somebody that is managing can never put in his best. Do you understand? So, like I said, our biggest problem right now is manpower issues, manpower, training, experience. That's what we have.
I'm going to come back to some of your challenges, but let's look at the hotels we have in Oyo State. Some people get to argue if we truly have a 5-star hotel in Nigeria, in Oyo State particularly. No, don't let me say Nigeria. If we truly have a 5-star hotel in Oyo State, looking at some of the previous experience, in fact, you can't even just compare. By the time you see what you're experiencing and even the rates that is charged in some of these places, how do we maintain a standard operating procedure, a standard operating practice for most members, such that there won't be depreciation and something that would start tarnishing the image of the association?
Well, like I said, the association is an umbrella body. The association is not an enforcement body. Do you understand? And I already mentioned the hotel being one of the easiest industries to get into. In fact, to be sincere, I would assume that at least 80% of people that go on and build hotels actually have no initial experience
about the hotel.
They
just have some money and just want to invest.
And everybody looks for a way. Oh, I want to tie money down. I'm looking for something I'll do when I retire. And I keep telling people, a hotel is a full-time job. It is not
a full-time job.
It is a full-time job. A hotel job. The owner of a hotel, the manager, it is a 24-hour job. You don't have a set time. You don't have Sunday. There's no difference between Sunday and a Monday. Do you understand? They're all working days in a hotel.
24 hours around the clock.
Now, I wanted to touch on your bit about creating 5-star or whatever. You see, in our environment, 5-star cannot be, you cannot rate 5-star like it is rated abroad. That's for one. Okay? So in our own parlance, in our own vision, what is 5-star? 5-star to me might be totally different from what is 5-star to you.
Oh.
Do you understand?
But there's still some basic standard talking about
there's some
hotels classifications.
There's some very basic standards, but I can tell you the best hotels in the world that are 5, 6, 7-star, you'd be shocked. Some of them are built from wood. Some of them are built from bamboo in the middle of the jungle. It is actually the service that you provide that makes you a 5-star hotel or not. It is very difficult to provide a 5-star service based on international standards in Nigeria. In a 5-star,
very difficult.
It's very difficult. In a 5-star hotel, you're not supposed to forget it. Electricity is a given. Electricity is not supposed to go. You're not even supposed to hear the sound of a generator. That is noise. Do you understand?
Okay, I need to go on a short commercial break now, and when I'm back, we get to speak more on this.
Right.
On 103.5 FM, your integrity station.
Let's go. This is your radio.
Unless we make broadcasting accountable, it is going to be very hard to change anything else for the better in our society. That is why all established and aspiring broadcasters are enjoined to join Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, SMB, the only legally recognized professional body for broadcasters in Nigeria. Registered since 1994. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìjọba ti wá rọ̀ Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, SMB lágbára láti issue operational license fún gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú ìtọ̀sẹ̀ tó tọ́. SMB has successfully gone through all the different stages of becoming law. A jẹ́ pé fún ẹnikẹ́ni láti rẹ́sẹ̀ walẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ó ní láti jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ SMB. Join now and be glad you did. Fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ láti dọmọ ẹgbẹ́ SMB ẹ pè alábòjútó national coordinator Dr. Yemisi Bangbose lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 0803-331-5256 or better still visit www.smb.com.ng. Be fulfilled as a broadcaster. Join SMB.
Did you know that the distribution of insecticide-treated nets will begin in Oyo State soon?
Really?
Yes. To rid Oyo State of malaria, health officials in blue uniforms with malaria logo will be going from house to house to register your household and issue you a net token from Thursday 10th July to Wednesday 16th July 2025.
A net token? So what do I do with that?
That token will be used for the collection of insecticide-treated nets at a collection point near you when the distribution begins. You should also take your old nets, which are no longer in use, to the distribution center.
That's wonderful, but would I need to pay for the new nets?
No, it's free. Just ensure you register and receive your token because no token, no net. For a malaria-free Oyo State, play your part, register and collect your token. This message is from the Oyo State government and its malaria partners.
Àtótó ti dé bàbá rere gbogbo olùgbọ́ rédíò tó fi mọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ Kẹ́hìndé Rájí Akínró ọmọ owó ẹ kú àmójúbà ètò tuntun lórí ìkànnì ẹni yìí Honor 103.5 FM Ìbàdàn ẹ̀dùn ọkàn.
ọkàn mi gbọ́ má gbàgbé ìlérí náà mo gbọ́.
ṣé ọwọ́ tó ń dunni a kì í fi sábẹ́ aṣọ láti wá rí ojútùú sí èyíkéyìí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn yín àbí ohunkóhun tó bá ń dunni lábẹ́ aṣọ ètò ẹ̀dùn ọkàn ní kẹ́ ẹ tẹ́tí sí níkànnì Honor FM ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Monday láago 9 sí 10 alẹ́ pẹ̀lú abala àkọ́kọ́ gbàjáre ta ló fọwọ́ lágbá ọ lójú ta ló yàn ọ́ jẹ lọ́kọláya táàrin wọn ògún ẹbí tí làásìgbò ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ bó sì já ẹ̀sán tàbí àrùn ló ń bá ọwọ́ yá àjà tàbí ohunkóhun tó bá ń wá ojútùú sí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn ni kó máa gbé bọ̀ tó fi mọ́ abala ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tá a pè ní àṣìṣe ńlá kí làmọ̀ṣe kí làṣìṣe rẹ kí lohun tó ti ṣe tó fẹ́ tọrọ àforíjì lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run àtọmọnìyàn sí ṣùgbọ́n tójú ń tì ọ́ ẹ̀dùn ọkàn ni ó máa gbé bọ̀ ara ó sì tù ọ́ abala kẹta ni kí là ti ṣe níbi tá a ti máa fúnra wa nímọ̀ràn lára ẹni lọ́yẹ̀ tá a sì máa róni lágbára tó fi mọ́ ìrànwọ́ àdúrà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan pẹ̀lú ìgbìyànjú owó tàbí iṣẹ́ láti wá ojútùú sí ṣòro ẹni tẹ́yìn àtàrà lé ó sì máa pè sórí ètò bá wa dá sí àbẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́ ẹ̀dùn ọkàn kún kẹ́kẹ́ pẹ̀lú Kẹ́hìndé Rájí ọmọ owó láti ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ tàbí polówó ọjà ẹ pè 08026161322 ẹ̀dùn ọkàn pẹ̀lú Kẹ́hìndé Rájí Akínró ọmọ owó níkànnì Honor FM ẹ má ṣàlàyé gbọ́ lọ́sẹ̀ yìí.
Honor 103.5 FM, your integrity station.
Welcoming you back from that short commercial break. This is still Honor 103.5 FM. You're listening to the program Transport and Tourism Express. And just like I told you, today on the program, or just in case you are just joining us, I've been speaking with Otumba Oyejide Ogundele, who is the president of Hoteliers in Oyo State, the Hoteliers Association of Nigeria, the Oyo State chapter. Just before we went on that short commercial break, you were speaking to the fact that the interest of the purchasing power of individuals might determine the chances of you having a 5-star hotel. Then again, what is 5-star for you might be different from what is 5-star for me. An international standard, I think there's still basic international standard, which I was speaking to before we went on that short break.
Yes. Basically, you see, a 5-star hotel, okay, that exists in Europe or America would be totally different from what we would expect a 5-star. Not, I mean, when I say different, we'd expect all those services in place. But you see, like for instance, I mean, a generator is not, electricity is 24/7 and it's 24/7. You don't take light, you don't hear the sounds.
You get to know something is even operating. Noise pollution, you get to...
Do you understand? And then you see, most importantly, the level of service, the level of training that staff have in the 5-star hotels in these developed countries. It's very difficult to find it here.
Very difficult to find it here.
It's very difficult to find it here.
Or is it that if you find them, you might not be able to pay them?
No, you see here, we don't look. Like I said earlier, how many people, how many institutions do you have that are training waiters? For instance, that are training waiters. A waiter is supposed to serve from a particular side of the customer. Do you understand? There's something we call silver service. Do you understand? There's something we call there's something that we call mopping down the table in between courses of meals. It's so difficult.
It's so difficult to find them.
It's so difficult to get people to go through that training.
You've been operating hotel now for the past 51 years.
Well, Davis Hotel has been in operation for the past 51 years, yes.
Running continuously
every
without
single
break,
day.
Every
for
single day.
Years, yes.
I would have asked how you've been doing this. But again, it calls for a reflection to see that so many things have evolved over the time, talking about your contribution to tourism in Oyo State and in Nigeria at large. And now let's get to look at it. Now people get to live in Lagos. They want to come back to Ibadan to come and sleep. They work in Lagos and live in Ibadan. And situations like this, people also want to come to a more serene environment where there is no noise. And most weekends now we get to hear feedbacks about, I think the commissioner for tourism at some point was saying many a times during the weekends, most top hotels in Ibadan are always fully booked because people are coming to experience nightlife. People are coming for tourism purpose. What do you say about this?
Well, they're right. But they're not always perfectly correct. You see, yes, you have a situation where there's a lot of movement in Ibadan.
Okay.
There's a lot of movement in Ibadan. The Lagos-Ibadan expressway that has been repaired has added to this. Do you understand? But you see, in general, the infrastructure in Nigeria is not geared towards tourism.
It's not geared towards tourism.
It's not geared towards tourism. Do you understand? So apart from coming to Ibadan, you're talking like everybody keeps talking about nightlife. Yeah, okay, nightlife is there. Nightlife is there. But am I going to take my family, my 12-year-old daughter and my 10-year-old? Am I going to say, let's go? But meanwhile, there are tourism sites right across Oyo State that we could visit. But getting there, Oyo State is even better. If you drive out of Oyo State, you're going to Osun State, for instance. You're going to Ondo State. You're going to Ekiti State. Okay?
The connecting roads.
The state of the roads. Do you understand? Unless it is absolutely necessary, most people do not get on those roads. Talk less of you are going to spend the weekend somewhere. Do you understand? There's lots of infrastructure that ties in with tourism.
So there's really an infrastructural gap towards tourism development.
You see, the truth of the matter is that, you see, any tourism you're going to get is going to start locally. If you cannot get your local population to move around.
Inbound tourism.
Yes, local tourism. Okay? I'm sure there are people in Oyo State that would like to explore Jos. There are plenty of people in Jos that would like to explore Port Harcourt.
Very true.
Do you understand? Okay? We just heard of the news of the demise of our beloved Olubadan of Ibadan. Okay? And there's going to be a burial, and there's going to be installation of the new Kabiesi. Do you understand? These are tourism magnets.
That can be marketed.
If the situation was right.
And would drive traffic.
Oh my God,
business.
if the situation was right. These are things. Look at how they managed to package Ojude Oba in Ejebo.
We had a Egungun festival in Oyo State.
Do you understand? Well, Egungun festival in Oyo State, it's still highly, that's extremely localized. Do you understand? It's extremely localized. I went to Mexico a couple of months ago Okay, they had what they call their masquerades. Their masquerades were dancing at the dinner parties we had. Do you understand? And we were giving them money. Their masquerades were not whipping people with Kano. Do you understand?
But I think a lot has actually improved. I don't know
Well,
if you
it
saw
has to.
videos and
It has
pictures
to. All
gathering
this-
them together at the stadium.
We have so much that can be turned into spectacles that will attract tourism. But we need to realize that it is local. It has to start locally. There is no foreign person. Do you understand? There's no foreign person in their right minds, okay, that will leave their country and just decide, I want to come and ride and explore.
Just like that.
Just like that. Do
People
you
travel,
understand?
essential travels. People. That's what more of what people engage in.
Yes, essential. If you see tourists here from abroad, they're either coming for Dirty December in Lagos, or they're coming for somebody's wedding, or somebody's burial, or somebody's birthday. Do you understand? Okay, and they are being cocooned into a little space. Do you understand? They make sure they're being monitored, they're being chaperoned. Okay, they're not going where they should not go. Okay, just to keep them.
To be able to tell a
Give
proper
them that,
story
yes, just give them
for
safe.
them.
Yes, to keep them safe for the 2 weeks that they'll be here, and you see them being escorted back to the airport,
With
and their
full
hosts,
security.
their hosts are sighing a big relief, sigh of relief that
That
thank
finally.
God they are going.
You,
Do you understand?
you seem to know a lot, and you're the president of an association. What working relationship do you have with government and your body?
Well, government has done, the present administration in Oyo State has done quite well for us. Other governments in the past also stood up, okay, and did their best. But you see, sometimes they will still need to dig deep and do more. About a week or two ago, I had an interview, and I mentioned how this present administration under Governor Seyi Makinde has really used a vision, long-term vision, okay, to boost the economy of Ibadan. I will not speak outside Ibadan because I don't know what goes on in Ogbomoso, what goes on in Seyin. Do you understand? But in Ibadan, the economy has been seriously boosted.
But
okay?
let's look at it from this end. We hear about double taxation at different agencies coming around. At some point, there were information on the public space that Nyoto was going around several hotels and trying to enforce policies.
Yes, thank you. You see that? You see, those are I was going to come to that. Okay, and you have there's another group right now, the musical copyright people that are saying they're going around hotels and nightclubs collecting money on behalf of Nigerian musicians, artists and things, and foreign musicians. You see, like Naihoto, yes, there's so many things that are hidden in the Nigerian constitution and in the laws. Okay, Naihoto is there. Okay, but Naihoto does not have the capacity to even do 5% of what they were intending to do.
Wow.
Do you understand? You are telling me that you want to train my staff. Do you have trained people that can come and train my staff?
Their own
Do
staff.
you have facilities that can come and train my staff? You are asking me that they were just they wanted to bite more than they could chew. Do you understand?
Talking about Nyoto.
Yes, and I think it was some people misled the minister to rule out that enforcement, so to speak. Okay, and I think at the end of the day, it's backfired. They've had to cancel the whole thing. Do you understand? Because when you roll out and you give all the hotels that are visible, okay, all these demand notices, okay, number one, it is seen as just revenue collecting. Because it is obvious from what you see there that you don't have the capacity. Do you understand? Okay, you just want to collect
majorly
revenue.
we know them as a training agency, actually.
Yes. Now, there are other agencies also that have, in the law, that they can actually collect things from hotels. Like the musical...
All these taxes.
Yes, like the musical...
But don't you think you should all be harmonized together instead of double?
You see, it's difficult. We already have a harmonized bill with the Oyo State government, which Oyo State government collects. And we're able to actually fight at every point when there's any more multiple taxation by the Oyo State government. But there's so many federal agencies and different ones. Like this musical one I was talking about. Yes, it is there in the law. They have the ability, they have the permission or whatever, authority, to collect royalties. Do you understand? For music played. But what is causing the dispute right now is that they want to collect royalties based on maybe the size of your hotel, number of rooms you have. Yes, do you understand? And we are trying to tell them that some hotels don't even play music at all. Do you understand?
I need to go on a short commercial break again. And when I'm back, I will still be speaking to you based on some of these issues within the sector. Keep it locked down. This is still Honor 103.5 FM.
On 103.5 FM, your integrity station.
òdodo lọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá tó sọ pé bàbá dóko bàbá ẹlòmíì rí àní kò sóko tó jókòó bàbá ẹni lọ. ìgbà tí mo dé Subcam Leading Hotel and Suites ni mo fìdí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí múlẹ̀ láìsí àní-àní ìgbádùn ṣodo síbi kan ju bìkan lọ. Subcam is centrally located in a secure environment that gives you rest of mind anytime, any day. At Subcam, our goal is to offer our guests a comfortable, affordable, and exceptional accommodation. There is also event and conference hall for all occasions with watertight security. Our restaurant serves local and continental cuisines. Assorted drinks are also available in our bar whenever you want it, alongside Wi-Fi coverage and top-notch laundry with other facilities too numerous to mention. Seeing is believing. Subcam Leading Hotel and Suites is at Plot 3 Mechanic Scheme opposite New Garage off Ijebode Road, Ibadan, Oyo State. Telephone 090-6466-7569. Subcam Leading Hotel and Suites. In hospitality, we lead. Hello there, do you wish to improve your business and take control of your career? If yes, do business with Honor FM 103.5 Ibadan, and you will thank me immensely, for honor and integrity is our watchword at Honor FM Ibadan.
On 103.5 FM, your integrity station.
Welcoming you back to Honor 103.5 FM. You're still listening to the program Tourism Express, and I've been speaking with Otumba Ayodele, who is the president of Hoteliers in Oyo State. He's speaking to quite a lot of things, and when we went on the short commercial break, I was asking him just one very important question, which I would want to come back with, and that is talking about how guests are supposed to also behave. As much as hotels are supposed to maintain a standard operating procedure, standard of practice, there are ways guests or tourists are also supposed to behave. The purpose of me living the comfort of my house and staying in an hotel is to have a serene, a quiet environment, but you get to and also experience maximum comfort. But you get to some places, to some hotels, and you see that your next door neighbor is probably smoking, or you get to some hotels and you observe that, oh, the next door neighbor is praying loud at his voice or her voice. How do you get to manage some of these things, and what exactly are people supposed to know when they come to the hotel?
Yeah, well, thank you. All the things you've mentioned do happen in hotels. And basically, every hotel devises ways of trying to curb these behaviors. For instance, okay, it is right there in many hotels that the smoking of Indian hemp drugs is highly prohibited, and that you will call the police or necessary law enforcement agencies, and you see people would come in and they would respect that. And your staff too must be vigilant and in a polite, firm way must be able to tell a customer, we don't allow this here. Do you understand? But you will see a lot of hotels for the necessity to make money. Okay, they will turn a blind eye to so many things. And we keep telling them this thing shortens the life expectation of your hotel, because decent customers will go away. Do you understand? When it's normal that your hotel is used by drug users, your hotel is used by
at
Yahoo
times you
men.
find your Yahoo boys
Yes,
lodged
you
in
find
there
Yahoo
for
men
days
and making noise. Yeah, months. You
Some
see,
of them will have even booked ahead and say this room for 1 month.
yeah,
you
so
can't.
you
Nobody.
See, you see a lot of we're in a catch-22 situation.
Cash 22.
Yeah, so the ball goes round. A hotelier is buying diesel every day.
The economy is not smiling.
The economy is not smiling. It's buying diesel every day. Then you see somebody that comes and says, I want 2 rooms, okay, for 6 weeks. Do you understand?
He will jump at it.
All he's thinking about right now is that, at least I can pay my salaries from that, whatever, and then we'll manage the rest. Do you understand? And they'll try and pray and manage.
But how long do we continue this? The government not supporting you?
Well, support us how?
During the last blast incidents that happened at Bodija, you had the government dosing out a lot of money to hoteliers, especially those that were there for the government.
Well, hoteliers that people stayed in, or hotels that were damaged. There are two
hotels that were damaged. Did the government not do anything?
My hotel was damaged.
Your hotel is in Bodija.
My hotel is in Bodija. I think Bonn was damaged. There was Bridgeway, and then there was another hotel. Okay, right there, right near the epicenter, that was damaged. I'm sure everybody got some kind of compensation.
Okay.
But you see, the truth of the matter is this. Do you understand? The bomb blast happened. Okay, and for instance, in my hotel, the bomb blast happened. I had guests in the house. In fact, it was some royal fathers that were staying in my hotel that called my attention, because I wasn't around. I was in far away Ekiti. That something just happened. Okay, and the next morning, okay, we had to start spending heavy money to correct things because we had bookings down the line. So am I going to, because there was a bomb blast, not open the next day? Okay. I thank God the whole place wasn't destroyed, but what was left, we had to continue running and start repairing the bomb blast. So it was with a lot of personal intervention from customers and friends that we were able to get funds initially. Okay,
and that is how you get to maintain your activity.
It's straight away that we needed to repair the damage that was caused by the
blast.
By the blast. So by the time government came to our aid, do you understand? We had already borrowed money from bank, borrowed money from individuals, but we also thank them for eventually coming to our aid.
I know quite a number of other humanitarian churches came to support, also give some help.
Well, I mean, churches will not come and support a hotel. They will support individuals. I mean, most churches will not go to a hotel and say, "Oh, yeah, start taking." What do they want to give us?
I want to ask on a lighter note. I want to find out, why do some of these hotels name their rooms Mexico, Chicago, New York, and the wife in his room, or the husband in Motiwan, Chicago, by you?
Well, you see, this is it. It's a personal choice. Do you understand? You might build your hotel and you might have affinity to name it after your family members.
Okay.
Do you understand? And your grandma might be called Ojo Lakpe, so you call it Ojo Lakpe Blue Room.
But why are they not giving you some of the local names in Ibadan too?
You can do that. Do you understand? So, like you said, really and truly, okay, we must also look inwards when doing things like this. We must look inwards when doing things like this to use local names. Like I had an artwork. I have an artwork in my reception, which is a metal bird, a metal cock, a metal cockerel that was done by a very popular metallurgist and artist, Mr. Dr. Pokwola. And when he brought it, and we bought it off him, we had a competition amongst my staff that, okay, what should we name this chicken? Do you understand? And people were bringing all kinds of
suggestions.
Names. And we named it Kukuruku at the end of the day. And it's there, and it's a local name.
Again, I want to ask on the lighter note. When you get to some hotels, we see that, they give us cream, they give us bottle sprays, and some of these other things. But give us shampoo. Are people supposed to go with these things? You get to some houses, some of my friends, I see different hotel names, different shampoo, different.
To be truthful, things like your shampoo, your soap, your whatever, they're complimentary. They come with the room.
It's part of what you pay for.
You can take that.
You can go with it.
That away.
Okay.
Now, if you sleep in a hotel and you enjoy the pillow, what you're supposed to do is go to the reception and ask for the housekeeper and ask where they bought the pillow, or if they have an extra, they can sell to you. There are actually hotels abroad that have their pillows, their mattresses, their bed sheets, everything for sale, brand new. So if you enjoy it, they'll deliver to your door.
Thank you very much, Otumba Ayodele, who is the president of Hoteliers in Oyo State. Thank you for joining us.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Till next week, when we come your way again, I had this program also with Rufus Osunsame. And I hope when next we get to call you, you get to speak with us in the studio.
I will. Thank you very much.
Till next week. My name is Victor Oyejide. Do have a great day. And like I said to you, if you drink, ensure that you do not drive. And if you drive, please do not drink. Your best behavior in any hotel you find yourself.
Thank you.